Hello everybody, and thanks again for checking in. Thanks a bunch, Amanda. So what I wanted to talk about today was foods that might be more ideal to eat in the winter. As you may know or may have read in the materials that we've given you, or maybe in your own studies, different times of the year require different foods. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. So the temperature is certainly dropping, and most specifically just recently, but in general for winter, as we're moving towards that, one should consume foods, it's kind of obvious, that are warmer. But what does that mean? So first it means, trying to cook as much of the food that you consume as possible. Eating raw foods, definitely less, if any, at this time of the year, because as the outside temperature drops, one's metabolism drops, and we do see people who have more digestive issues as the temperature goes down. The third thing that you could consider looking at is foods that are considered quote-unquote energetically warmer. And I'll give you an example of what I mean when I say that. There are foods, for instance, lamb, which is very invigorating and very warming, compared to, say, watermelon, which would be the other end of the spectrum, which is very cooling, and without question, I guess would be something you'd want to eat in the summer because of how cooling it is. As a matter of fact, there's certain parts of watermelon that you could use in the case of heat stroke, which is highly effective at helping combat that heat into the body. So, it does have a positive effect when you eat the right foods at the right time. The problem with eating incorrect foods at certain times of the year is that in the next season you're more prone to illness, is what was discovered with Chinese medicine, the ancients, and what they discovered. Anyway, so there's other foods that you could consume that are warm. For instance, root vegetables, potatoes and parsnips and turnips and things of this nature. Soups and stews, very good in contrast to a salad. I suppose a salad every once in a while might be okay, but a little soup with it would warm that up. So anyway, it's good to know. There's a book I can recommend that you check out if you're interested in learning more about this. It's a bit dense and a bit thick, but very useful, by Paul Pitchford. It's called Healing with Whole Foods. Anyway, so certainly of value to be eating the right foods at the right time of the year. Intense, huge chocolate milkshake in the middle of December, maybe not so great. If I was going to have some kind of a dessert, I might have a hot fudge brownie, fresh out of the oven. Alright, if you were going to have dessert, and I'm sure you wouldn't have any sugar, you'd probably be using some kind of natural sugar substitute like stevia if you were doing such a thing. I'm just joking. Anyway, it's up to you, but you get the concept. So there's foods that are warm just because of how they're cooked versus raw, and then there's also foods that energetically are just warmer in general, with the example being, say, lamb being the warmest of all foods that are out there, and watermelon probably being one of the coldest. Alright, so happy eating, enjoy the season, happy Thanksgiving early, and happy Christmas and all that, and we'll be back shortly and we'll talk more. Thanks. Over and out.